This mind map depicts the process of operant conditioning, which was a part of Module 4, How Learning Shapes Behavior. Operant conditioning is a learning theory that explains how behaviors are influenced by their consequences. The process begins with an initial behavior. An action an individual might perform. This behavior will then lead to a consequence, which is the key to understanding operant conditioning. The consequence can either increase or decrease the likelihood of the behavior happening again. This fundamental principle is called the law of effect. If the consequence increases the behavior, we call it reinforcement. If it decreases the behavior, we call it punishment. Both reinforcement and punishment come in two types, positive or negative. Positive reinforcement involves adding something pleasant after the behavior. For example, praising a child for cleaning their room. The praise is added and it increases the likelihood of the room cleaning behavior. Negative reinforcement involves removing something unpleasant. Imagine taking a painkiller to relieve a headache. The removal of pain reinforces the behavior of taking the medication. Positive punishment adds something unpleasant. A speeding ticket, for example, is a form of positive punishment, adding a fine to decrease the speeding behavior. And lastly, negative punishment is about removing something pleasant. Taking away a teenager's phone privileges for missing curfew, for example, is negative punishment. The things used in reinforcement are called reinforcers. Primary reinforcers satisfy basic biological needs like food and water, while secondary reinforcers are learned like money or praise. Now, the timing and frequency of reinforcement matter too. This is what we call the reinforcement schedule. Continuous reinforcement means the behavior is reinforced every single time it occurs. This is great for establishing new behaviors quickly. Partial reinforcement is more common, where only some instances of the behavior are reinforced. This can still lead to behaviors being more resistant to extinction. As this process repeats over multiple times, the behavior can gradually be shaped. Shaping involves reinforcing successive approximations of the desired behavior. It's how complex behaviors are built up over time. Eventually, this leads to a learned behavior, the final product of the conditioning process. Now, once a behavior is learned, it can either be maintained through continued reinforcement, or it might undergo extinction if the reinforcement is withheld. Extinction is the gradual decrease in a learned behavior when it's no longer reinforced. The chronological view of operant conditioning, showing how the process works, shows us how behaviors evolve based on their consequences shaped by the type and schedule of the reinforcement, ultimately leading to learned behaviors that can be maintained or extinguished over time.